Right, Messi's five-star performance coming up a little later in the show, but our focus remains on the Asian Games. Bringing us all the latest India results will be my colleague Suprita Das, live from Incheon, though our top story comes from the sport of tennis. It's probably the biggest thing to happen to Indian tennis. 17-time Grand Slam champion Roger Federer has signed up for the Indian team in the inaugural edition of the International Premier Tennis League, or the IPTL. The Swiss maestro Roger Federer has replaced Rafael Nadal in the Indian franchise. The league starts from 20th November, but for Indian fans to see FedEx in flesh and blood, they will have to wait till the 6th of December, as that is when the IPTL will be played in New Delhi.
Forward to making my first trip to New Delhi. My team tells me that there's a lot of tennis fans and supporter of mine in the area. I hope you can come out and support me in December. I'll see you there. Bye.
Now, the International Premier Tennis League, or the IPTL, is something that has managed to generate quite the buzz, really, in tennis circles around the world. They have managed to rope in a number of huge names, both current and former, from the world of international tennis, and that really makes it an exciting new venture. But is it too ambitious? Can this league actually manage to revolutionize the sport of tennis, especially here in India? And to answer those questions and much more, we have with us today 12-time Grand Slam champion and the brains really behind the IPTL, Mahesh Bhupathi, as well as the owner of the India franchise of the league, Mr. Rahul Sharma. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you here. First up, Mahesh, I have to ask you this, that you did mention at the launch that this is in the NBA style. However, the comparisons with the IPL or the Indian Premier League are going to be inevitable. They started as soon as you announced the league. In your own head, do you think that's a fair assessment, or is the IPTL much more and much different than that?
I don't know how we can compare it. The reason I keep saying NBA is because in the NBA, it's closed indoor stadiums. You know, all our 4 venues in all countries are indoor stadiums. It gives us a little more ability to control the entertainment aspect of it, vis-a-vis DJ, cheerleaders, lights, sound, everything. Obviously, in the NBA, you know, it's world-class athletes playing competitive sport. At the same time, it's a great entertainment outing for the whole family. So that's exactly what we're trying to replicate.
Now, Mahesh, you know, this is something I heard about you a long time back, especially when I started off as a sports journalist, that it's not very easy to make Mahesh Bhupathi smile, whether he's on court or off the court. Now, today at the launch, I did notice that you're smiling quite a bit. You're really excited about this, aren't you? This is, after all, your own baby.
Yeah, look, you know, as a tennis fan, just ability to be able to bring Roger to India for me is, you know, a personal achievement. Obviously, the league, you know, when it comes to the league, I'm in the zone. I've been working on it for 2 years, and now we're about 60, 70 days away, so we're very excited. But, you know, the fact that Roger Federer is going to come play in India, you know, when he's playing some of his best tennis, I think is just exciting for everybody.
Mahesh, what do you have to say to the critics who are saying that this is really a slam-bang version of tennis, that this is one set-apiece matches, quick fix entertainment, that can this really revolutionize tennis, or is it only going to revolutionize perhaps the TV audience base of tennis?
Well, TV audience drives sport. I mean, that's a fact. If you go to any of the top sports, any of the top leagues, I mean, NFL in the US demands, you know, $10 billion of rights fees. So if you don't have a TV aspect to your sport, I think, you know, you're in big trouble of growth. So, you know, the biggest complaint in tennis we've had over time is the fact that you can't control the time of a match. It could go on for 2 hours, it could go on for 5 hours, and this is not ideal for broadcasters. So we've time sensitized it, and, you know, we've got the biggest players backing it. So I believe we've got all the ingredients to kind of, you know, make a difference when it comes to, you know, where people see the sport in a few years.
Where do you see Indian tennis, Mahesh, in, say, the next 5 years? What's the future of Indian tennis looking like to you after the Bhupathis, the Pace, the Sania Mirza, and even Bopanna? After them, where does Indian tennis go?
We've always had talent. You know, I think an event like this, which is going to bring in the biggest star that tennis has ever seen, I think will definitely boost it to, you know, a different stratosphere. You know, I know, you know, I've multiple chats with MicroMax that they're going to leverage it and even promote the sport in multiple ways as well. So I think, you know, an event like this will, you know, do wonders for the sport in the country.
Well, Mahesh, I have to ask you this because you are, after all, one of the biggest voices in Indian tennis. What do you make of the entire controversy about big-name players pulling out of the Asian Games to boost their ATP rankings?
Listen, at the end of the day, the ATP and the WTA is their bread and butter, right? I know the reason the Asian Games is not ideal because it's scheduled in a window where, you know, there are all of us are trying to make a run for the Masters, the World Championships, and fortunately for Sania, she's made the cut in the World Championship, so she was able to go to the Asian Games. But you got to understand these guys. I mean, you can't mess with someone's bread and butter.
All right, that was Mahesh Bhupati. Mark that date. 6th of December is when Roger Federer will put his foot here in India for the very first time. He'd be playing in New Delhi. Right now, let's bring you all the latest from the Asian Games. Joining me live, my colleague Suprita Das, live from Incheon. Over to you, Suprita.
Thanks very much, Nikhil. That's right. We're coming to you live from Incheon, the venue of the 17th Asian Games. The Indian athletes here in Incheon are warming up to the event. A couple of more medals added to the tally. And, of course, a historic medal from Saurav Ghoshal in squash. Remember, he is in the final and he could go better than just silver and perhaps even win bronze. Here are the top results and highlights from day 4 in Incheon.